All right, there's a lot that has happened in the month of January. Let's start. Where do we start? Let's start with the offensive coordinator. There's a brand new sheriff in town with the offense. That was a terrible cliche. That was just so bad. What do you know about the new offensive coordinator at Jackson State? Still probably still unpacking his suitcases as we speak.
Well, he's here and has hit the ground running. He's in Jackson, by way of Nevada, and he is a implementer of the air raid offense, if you will, a disciple of Mike Leach. And one of the things that Coach Prime wanted to do is really get a spark under this talented offense and make sure we're producing 21 points a game and north of that, and getting quick points out there. So, Coach Prime is one of those guys, man, operates at a high level, and winning means different things to him than it means to most people. A lot of coaches out there maybe wouldn't tinker with a team that was undefeated in conference play. But he knows that offensively we left a lot of meat on the bone out there in games, and wants to go in this direction and make that offense really run smoothly at a high level and put up a lot of points, because he knows defense-wise we're going to be able to hold people 21 or less, probably even 14 or less. So if we can score 21 plus, we're winning every game again.
You look at the history of your offensive coordinator. Played football in the Pac-12, a wide receiver. I feel like he just played yesterday. He was playing in the early, what do we call the decade after 2010? The 2010s, the early 2010s. So a really young guy there. And I find it interesting, Neely, when Coach Sanders first got to Jackson State, everybody thought it was just going to be a parade of former NFL players picking up clipboards, and it was going to be all these crazy names that we heard. But this is, I don't know if you want to say taking a chance, but it's definitely coming out of the box, outside of the box that a lot of people thought it would be.
Yeah, I think you're hitting it right there, Tolly. It's an assumed out of the box, because a lot of folks made assumptions about Coach Prime, make assumptions about Deion Sanders, make assumptions about Prime Time, as he was known in his marketing persona. But the guy in all three of those personalities is very calculated, very thoughtful in his decision making, and has rhyme and reason for everything that he does. And you see that trend happening in the NFL with younger head coaches that are moving around and shuffling the past 5 years, particularly those who worked in analytics or quality control, as it's named, at some of the Power 5 schools. So you have this coach who was an offensive guru, offensive mind, if you will, under that Mike Leach coaching tree and of knowledge in the air raid system. And so Coach Prime wanted to go with it to make sure our offense is not leaving, as I said before, their proverbial meat on the bone, and capitalizing off of every opportunity to score.
Well, Neely, you would think that when you have two of the top 5 wide receivers in the country coming in as true freshmen, I'll say that again, 2 of the top 5 wide receivers in the country coming to Jackson State as true freshmen, I think you probably like to pass the ball. I don't know, maybe a reach.
No, I think that it isn't a reach. I think this is all calculated. You see the upgrades that we're making in the offensive line. The lineman that we have coming that we've signed is a tremendous upgrade for the protection that will be for Shedeur Sanders. Now more weapons on the outside for Shedeur Sanders. And now an offensive mind and play caller that's in that same regard to maximize this talent, this once-in-a-generation talent that you have on the same team at the same time in the SWAC. It all goes hand in hand. But here's something I don't want folks to miss out there in the HBCU space, whether it's the pregame show or HBCU game day. This air raid concept still has a lot to do with defense. In the conversations that Coach Prime had with his defense coordinator, Dennis Thurman, because one thing that happens when you run the air raid successfully, your defense is on the field more because you're scoring faster. So you have to have a defense that can complement your offense, that can play an extra 10 or 15, even 20 snaps a game than they're used to, because when it works fast and your defense is right back out there. So you'll see upgrades on the defensive side of the ball with some of the players that we lost. You have a James Houston who declared for the draft, and a Keontae Hampton who declared for the draft. But you have other linebackers coming right in immediately that fill that void just as well, if not better, in these new schemes that are being developed.